like this. Look at all these planks. I got all this to put away after I get done, and I'm not even sure where I'm going to put them yet, but we'll figure it out. But I got a bunch of pieces. I met up with Big Mex today, and I mean, he filled my pickup truck completely full, and then we got a good bit on the trailer too. All right, so here's what we got. We're going to carve that. Nice giant 8-pointer with a drop tine. Actually splits. I guess he'd be a 10, really, if you want to. He'll be a chainsaw carving. How about that? Okay, but anyway, let's get this turned around, and we'll get this done. I've been wanting to do this. Hey, Michael, what's going on? Heck yeah, glad to see you in there, buddy. And talking to Dad today there by seeing the video he put out of the deer he seen. I just thought it'd be cool to carve one of these. I wanted to do one anyway. I've only ever made one deer piece like that, wall piece, and it wasn't even, I didn't punch through it. I just cut the deer out of it, and I didn't have no problem selling that. So I thought, man, you know, probably want to make another one. Makes sense to me. Anyway, let's see what you got here. We got, hey, Raymond, how's it going? But heck yeah, Michael, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to carve that. We'll make a nice little cool deer carving out of that. And I don't know. I could have added more points, but I think it's going to be kind of difficult. On the punch through is just a little more difficult than, you know, if I was to just kind of relief that alone. But the standout, I want to take all these pieces out. This will all come out, and it'll be in multiple pieces. But that's all got to come out. That's got to come out. That's got to come out, which that's all part of the same area. And that section there has got to come out. That's going to make it a little more difficult, but I just think it's going to look better. It's going to be a lot more fun. So I'm getting some earplugs in now, because I really like wearing those earplugs. That works out pretty good. And I thought I had a mask out here. I thought I had my, I don't know where I put it. I'm not going to worry about it too much. So I just don't think this is going to take an absorbent amount of time to do. You know, probably an hour. We'll see. But we're going to find out. I know that much. And let me get a drink here. My handy dandy Creation Dust 777 cup. And we'll get to it. And I just gassed my saws up. If I had a heart at all, I would, right? Let's see what we got here. What's going on, Matthew? Happy Car Munson, Dad. I figured you'd like this, Dad. Hey, Mark, Belinda, glad to see you guys. If you're wondering why this ain't bouncing all over the place, there's a piece back here, and eventually I might have to cut off when I'm digging the antlers. I might just have to cut most of it off. We'll see how it goes. But if you haven't hit the like already, be sure and hit it. Appreciate you guys being in there. Good. Digging this out, this don't mean nothing. We got plenty to work. We got plenty of wood to work with, and actually that ear antler and all that'll be kind of recessed back in there a little bit. But I don't want to chip at the nose too much. I want that to be there. But anyway, like I said, hit the like if you haven't already. admittedly, this is a nerve-wracking cut. And the reason is that piece could potentially pop off and break. Now, it's not that big a deal. I could glue it back together, but it's just the idea. You don't want it to pop off. You know what I mean? But that said, you guys hit the like button. I'll do the best I can to dig it out. How about that? I'm glad I stopped and looked because I had it in my mind I needed to go clear down here. And so sometimes it just pays to stop. This deer had to go get all fancy, grow a split brow tine. Gonna really make me work. I don't know. punch out pieces. Let me get something to drink here real quick. Make sure ain't no sawdust getting in it too. That's important. Was I disappeared for a while there, I'm guessing? Maybe? Oh, let's see. Can you see me now? Yeah, hopefully yeah, I had no idea when I lost it. I guess you'll have that though. Yeah, what happens is too many devices, I think. Something along that lines is going on, because I haven't been having this problem. This is a pretty sudden thing. You know, I mean, yeah, we all back. I don't know what's going on I mean, that's happened 3 or 4 times now. And I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it. I know one thing. We got 5G service and 2G router, and the boss lady's been supposed to go and get it changed out for a while now, and she never has. Well, anyway, the heck of it is, I was about to give a disclaimer about what we were doing. But that said, I'll keep right going now that we know we're back in there, and maybe I'll check it more often. Chainsaws and other power tools should never be used by anybody, including but not limited to you. Never pick one of these up. You will die. That's our official Bear in the Box. Saying, well, he's not dead yet, but how do you know I'm not AI? Are you kidding me? You think AI would make something that ugly and present it to us? Yeah, actually I do. cutter and try to work the antlers, curve them a little bit more. And I hadn't run it today yet, so I did fuel it. How about that? That's half the battle. All right, come on with the jokes. Where'd you get your kid's chainsaw at, fatty? I know. At this point, I need, in order to dig that top out, I need to roll it up. So I guess I clean this up a little bit more, and then I'll undo it and roll it over so I can get this top cut out right. But that's looking pretty good. I can't wait to put the eye on it and sand it and all that stuff. It's going to be pretty cool. over. And we'll do this top. I might even just lay it on its side to do it. I don't know. Well, let's figure it out. I'll take the screws out and see. It might just be easier to do it on the side. But I can't wait to finish this thing. It's looking pretty cool. And it didn't take no time to make it either. That's the other cool thing about it. And you already got a pretty cool, the picture, the video really, I mean, it really shows. It's really standing out. And it'll be, this piece will be painted, the side edges will be burnt, and this whole thing will be colored in some way. Let's dig that, lay that over like that. Let's see if I can't get into, maybe if I find my screw here, stick it to that. There we go, that'll be all we need. We can set these over here, grab that saw, down, you can see what I'm doing that way. I think he's ready to sand. Looks pretty good. I like it. Pretty happy with that one. And it didn't take that long. How much I got in the chainsaw carving right now? 38 minutes. Okay, pretty good. Yeah. If you haven't hit the like already, be sure and hit it. If you had a heart at all, you would. I'm not saying you're heartless, but you might be. I don't know. We'll go ahead and give this guy one thing I did forget. And I'm just now realizing it, is I got to give him some hair. Let's give him some hair. And the John Cutter is really perfect for that. think that's too bad. Let's burn him and sand him. Not too bad, not too good. Somewhere in the middle. That's where we're trying to be. Michael S. says I need to get a shirt that says that. Somewhere in the middle. Oh, and I'll tell you, I would create more stuff like that, shirts and stuff, but I can't get back on my Facebook. Start with the sanding, and I do have my big goofy mask out here. I can use it. I gotta blow it out. Make sure there ain't no brown recluses living in there. You gotta look. You gotta look. Like, look, there's wood chips and stuff. You know. Come on. So how about it? We'd like to get 100 likes tonight. We're up to 81. Ah, somebody took theirs back. I can't believe that. What a jerk. All right, we'll keep going. need that fan no more. And the thing is making me cold. I mean, it was literally, hey, what we got here? Somebody get Dad, give me $10. Heck yeah, Dad, that's pretty nice. Heck yeah, Scott, that's awesome. I thought you would like this, especially after the videos you just posted today. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Johnny, glad to see you guys in there too. Artsy, how's it going? Was the man in there too? Has he got his fingernails painted? I mean, I don't understand what the big deal is. So look, he lost the challenge, he paints his nails. Just get around with it like it for a couple days. That's normal anymore. Guys you see guys, look at Ryan Cook, chainsaw carver. His fingernails are always painted. DeLand, you big sissy, just keep them on. Come on, just keep them on. I don't understand what the big deal is. I wasn't wrong about it. Hey, it's lost the book. Okay, I gotta paint my fingernails. All right, whatever. I'm too busy to be trying to get fingernail polish off my fingers. I don't know. Look at these guys from Michigan. They got an overestimated sense of self-worth, I guess. I don't know. Trying to get a finger sander. I've got as far as I can go with the angle grinder. And you can get a lot done with an angle grinder. And you can screw a lot of stuff up with an angle grinder too. So, you know, but I'll tell you, I got to stop. Take this mask off for a second, take a breath. Heck yeah, look at that, 100 likes, man, that's awesome. We will take every one of them. In 53 minutes, we managed to get this thing somewhat done. You know, I want to do the eye. Let me do the eye before I do the finger sanding. So I think I'm going to do a 2-stage. Let's see. Yeah, eye and then an eye socket, cuticle or whatever they call it around that goes around the eye. I don't know, call it Barry, Tom, something like that. I don't know. But anyway, let me start with the small. This would be the eyeball itself. Okay. Now, I'm going to switch that over and put a way bigger one in. Not way bigger, but bigger. Put a bigger one in. And it just helps bring him to life, you know what I mean? To me, it makes sense to get this done sooner than later. Helps him come to life. That and people are interested, but at the same time they got to go to bed. So you kind of like to have them, you know, somewhat of an image in their head of what this thing looks like. Uh-oh, dropped one. Don't want to do that. And we're just gonna go, yeah, next size up. This one, I don't know. I'm struggling between these two. This one might be a little too big, but then I could buff it down from that. And the eyeball itself is going to be a little more forward of this cut. And then I'm going to try to teardrop it after the fact, give him an eyelid. But I think the eyelid is probably going to be the last one I do. Yeah, I can work with that. And then I need to put like let's cut this down, this ring edge out, tear here, and then cut this into kind of like a point where it drips out. And anyway, I can't remember what they call that. It's got a name. It's not Bob or Jim or Daryl or Maurice, but it does have a name. I can't remember what it is. And don't hold me to it. Stone Cold Steve Austin said so. He wasn't even here, so. Da 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 da. Yeah, I'm gonna sit up all night and watch Rocky. If you guys are all right with that, let's see. Okay, so let me do my. eyes and nose time. Man, that thing's loud. It made my ears ring. You'll have that, right? Shouldn't have that, but did have that. Okay. I'll have to finish the eye first and then do the nose. And kind of probably bring the mouth out a little bit more. I can't wait to paint it. But this will be the second time I've done one of these. And it was the first time I did it wasn't a punch out like this one, so that added a layer of difficulty. Guess I might have to burn that a little bit to clean it up. I don't want to burn it too much. I don't really want to sand it back off. But, oh, is that on? Yeah, that's still on. Let's do what we can to clean it up. Actually, let me give it to you. Where's my finer tip? If I can find my finer tip, I'm going to use it. Come on, baby. Heck, I might as well just black the nose. Heck yeah. That'll work until it's painted anyway. How about that? Well, you never know. I might just say heck with it and I'll paint it. You know, I'd say I'll paint it, but I might say heck with it, not paint it. I mean, you never know. You know, I'll tell you one thing, I'm looking at it right now, and the nose is on fire. Might not be able to see it. There's a little bit of a burn going on there. Yeah, I'm going to take that finger sander and get that little extra bit that's on the, where I just overburn it. I'm going to clean that off. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this thing. I mean, it's a pretty cool piece. I can't complain about it at all. Well, we got 112 likes too. Dad gave us $10. He's still excited about it. And I figured he would be because he had that video of the bucks on there. Get in there better than that. What is that? Take it for what it is. Yeah. Just kind of is what it is. I think that come out pretty cool. Where's the drill? Let's take this dude off her. And I know I left that down there. Didn't put no hair there, but I mean, we don't need it. It looks pretty darn good. It looks pretty good just like it is. And that's what we got. Hold that up there. You can see kind of the detail. The antlers, head's twisted, you know. And that's why the antlers look the way they do. But that's a pretty cool piece, you know. If you like what we're doing here, be sure to subscribe. We like to do stuff like this all the time. And actually, this is one of my favorite pieces I've made in a while. I cannot wait to paint this thing. That's going to be pretty cool. And I can't wait to make it as a thumbnail, actually. I'm just picking some of the... There's some pieces here. Just some little... There. That's what you're going to have. Now, we got sent to us Magic Eagle trail camera to make a video about it and start posting pictures that I get with the camera. And it's a cell phone enabled camera, and they sent it to me. That's really cool. Anyhow, I'm going to put that dude up there. We're going to get it hooked up, the cell service going on that. And I'm going to post pictures as I get pictures. Probably once or twice a week, I'm going to post pictures related to that trail camera. So I thought that'd be pretty cool. And I guess I'm gonna have a link for it too. So that'd be pretty cool. This week though, Senior batteries, which I've been using an electric chainsaw quite a bit. They sent me batteries to put in that thing to try out. So I'm gonna make tomorrow. I got to do some carving. I'm going to be using electric saw. You're not going to see it. I'm going to make a short about it in that battery, and I'm going to put that out Wednesday and next Wednesday. I'm going to have a different one on the same battery because I got two different components. I got one that works with that, which is Makita batteries. I also have an adapter so I can use them on this. So I'm really looking forward to opening them two packages I got. That's pretty cool stuff. But that said, that's what we got. I think it's pretty neat. Come out pretty good. Appreciate you guys being here. And how long have we been on here? 72 minutes. Okay, we'll be back Friday. Hey, Michael, appreciate that. Heck yeah. ×2. All right. We will be back. Hey, David Roberts, how's it going? Stoned off the shavings? Nah, it's more about the smoking or the fumes. You know, the fumes make you have a good time. You're like, hey, man, what's going on? I don't know. I can't see. I can see mushrooms popping out of my head. All right, it's good. Hey, appreciate that, Michael. Hey, Dan, Artsy Doodle, Pine and Oak. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Broski, you'd buy it. I hear you, Pine. That's awesome, man. Okay, that's what I got. I will be back Friday night. Don't forget that. Creation Dust 777, 2 o'clock Wednesday. Be sure and check him out. Hey, Mark, appreciate you being in there, man. Heck yeah, Matthew, appreciate it. Melly Maple, thank you. All right, guys, well, I'll leave you alone. Hey, appreciate the hugs there, Artsy. All right, hey, thanks, Johnny. Heck yeah. Hey, y'all, check out Johnny's Lathe Crafts if you haven't checked him out already. He's a pretty neat guy. All right, Michael, hey, you guys have a good night. We'll catch you. Come back with